Live at 5, this is 13 News Now.
A man loses his life to gun violence in Newport News. Police say 45-year-old Anthony Parker was shot and killed this morning at an apartment complex on Forest Drive.
Police tell us this is the city's 22nd homicide of 2017. 13 News Now reporter Allie Weatherton is live in Newport News. And Allie, police say the shots were fired near a playground.
David, that's right. That playground is actually inside that apartment complex, right in the common area. Now, police are still here at the scene over 8 hours later. Now, earlier in the day, they told me they found shell casings about a couple feet, about 5 feet away from the swing set.
I'm not sure I want to take them to the playground after something like that.
It's a thought many have after hearing someone killed a man just feet away from where kids play.
All of our school buses pick up right here. 8 o'clock, 8:30 is when you see, and especially because of this area, there's a lot of kids.
Police say just after 8:30 this morning, they received a call in reference to a fight. It was then upgraded to a shooting. When officers arrived, they found 45-year-old Anthony Parker shot and killed inside an apartment.
I didn't hear anything. I mean, and I can pretty much see the office from my apartment. I didn't hear a sound.
This incident has neighbors wanting to move out of this neighborhood.
There's, issues everywhere, but in broad daylight in a complex where everybody lives, it's kind of scary.
This homicide marks number 22 for the city so far this year.
One we know is one too many. 22, we need to find out who did this and the others.
Now, if you think you heard something or saw something that could help investigators, call the crime line at 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP. Live in Newport News, Allie Weatherton, 13 News Now.
Christopher Kita will spend more than 4 years behind bars for a DUI crash that killed a woman in Virginia Beach. Kita was sentenced today to 4 years and 30 days for DUI and involuntary manslaughter. 22-year-old Tasia Freeman died in March. Her car was stalled on I-264 with the hazard lights on when Kita crashed into her. Kita's license is suspended indefinitely.
Motorcyclist is in the hospital tonight after colliding with a school bus in Virginia Beach this morning. The bus was on its way to the Renaissance Academy when the accident happened on Lynn Haven Parkway at South Rosemont Road. We're working to find out how that motorcyclist is doing. No students were on that bus when it crashed.
A Norfolk man pleads not guilty in an attempted murder of an Accomack County deputy. 28-year-old DeAndre Ayers was one of 3 suspects in an incident during September of last year. The suspects were accused of threatening to blow up a PNC bank in Pocomoke City, Maryland, before leading police on a chase into Virginia. Police said the suspects fired 6 shots at a deputy in a police cruiser, disabling the car.
Man in Franklin wants your help finding the people caught on video breaking into his home. Kim Kreider says this footage you're watching right there was taken on Friday night and that his home has been targeted by burglars at least 4 times. 13 News Now reporter Stephen Graves joins us now in the studio with more. Stephen?
Yeah, David, as if 4 times wasn't enough, the victim says he believes multiple people are involved. He finally caught them on camera and hopes someone knows something to help find them. It starts with a hard door kick, then a mad dash around the house, a search from room to room as if looking for something. Then there's a find, a safe. You see the smaller person fumbling around, but it's too heavy for one, so the other steps in. We don't see the safe taken, but soon from another camera, you hear a loud noise. In a little more than 2 minutes, the burglars are gone. So is more than $400 from a safe. That safe broken at the bottom of the stairs. Here's Franklin Police Captain Tim Witt.
It's almost like they're nonchalant, taking their time and being in somebody else's home looking for things to steal.
The victim talked to 13 News Now over the phone. He says he feels violated. Neighbors along Edward Street in Franklin take it personally.
Well, at least 2 or 3 times that I've heard about it.
That's right, Franklin police say this is the 4th time they've been to the home the crime connected to burglary. The first time was 2 years ago. The victim says he thought it was over now until this October, another time in November, and now this 3 days ago at 8 o'clock in the evening.
There's been an arrest on the one in 2015. The others, well, like I said, one was an attempt, it wasn't an actual break-in, but the other 2 cases are still active.
Now you're probably asking, how could this happen so many times? The victim says he has tried other security measures to no avail. The burglars just find another way in. He also says what's more concerning is what was stolen from his home the previous times. I'll tell you more about that and a warning from police coming up on 13 News Now at 6. Stephen Graves, 13 News Now.
Williamsburg police are looking for a man they say robbed the Speedway gas station with a gun. Happened on Saturday at the store on Richmond Road, not far from Waltz Farm Drive. Detectives have a vague description of the suspect, but say he wore a blue hooded sweatshirt. The clerk was not hurt. If you have any information that might help, call police.
Senator Tim Kaine has another challenger for his job. Chesapeake pastor and former Lieutenant Governor candidate E.W. Jackson announced today he is seeking the Republican nomination in 2018. Mike Gooding tells us Jackson is the 4th GOP hopeful to enter the race.
That is right, David. You've also got Prince William County Supervisor and former Trump campaign chairman Corey Stewart, Culpeper State Delegate Nick Freitas, and Ivan Rakelin, an Army veteran, lawyer, and investor from Fairfax County.
I find this to be...
Democrat Tim Kaine has no shortage of challengers next year, with 4, count them 4, Republicans now seeking his job. Corey Stewart, Nick Freitas, and Ivan Rakelin were already in.
Well, I think we need a unifier.
And today, E.W. Jackson joined the race.
I think we also need, and the American people have spoken on this, people who are not career politicians. We need people who bring a fresh look to public policy and to the political arena.
And it's going to be a wild and woolly primary contest coming up.
At Old Dominion University, political science professor Jesse Richmond says whomever the Republican nominee ends up being, he will face an uphill fight.
It's going to be a tough race. The Democrats have won several recent statewide elections,
including just last month when Democrats wiped out a 32-seat majority in the Virginia House of Delegates, in addition to winning the governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general races. Richmond says that President Trump, who lost Virginia in 2016, will play a big role, and not necessarily a good one for the Republican Senate candidate.
Trump is going to be big in terms of how people vote in 2018, I expect. Midterm elections often have, in some respects, a quality of a referendum on the sitting president. And particularly given Trump's current approval numbers, it looks like that referendum might well be quite costly for the Republicans.
Democratic Party of Virginia Chairwoman Susan Swecker released a statement today. She said Jackson is notorious for his offensive, disgusting views. Virginians deserve a leader committed to growing our economy, strengthening our health care, and protecting us at home and abroad. And that's Tim Kaine. Reporting live, Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.
Governor McAuliffe is taking action when it comes to Virginia's growing teacher shortage. Today, he announced budget changes that include more than $2 million in funding, some of which will be used to help with teacher recruitment and retention. Governor also signed an executive directive asking the State Board of Education to issue emergency regulations, giving colleges the option to offer undergraduate majors in education.